What is good, Ape Nation? It's Rey-Jay back with another one, and in this one, I'm going to be talking about the one and only AMC stock and some very important things involving the price action for AMC going into next week. Now, I do have to note something very important. It's very hard for me to make calls involving AMC, considering how capricious and unpredictable the market could be. However, based off technical analysis, I can use some probability-based thinking to give you guys a very good understanding of what is most likely going to play out. Now, before I say anything about this, before I talk about any technical analysis, I do have to mention some very important things first. First off, I'm not a financial planner. This is all for educational purposes only, so please do not take this as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please smash the like button if you want to see more videos like this. It not only benefits me, but benefits the entire AMC community as a whole. And the last things, if you guys can, please check out the Moomoo link down below in the description. If you do sign up for Moomoo and deposit $100, you're not only going to qualify for up to 5 free stocks, each worth up to $3,500, but you're also going to have the opportunity to win up to $200,000 as Moomoo is giving away that much money for the new year. So if you want a chance to win 200 grand and you want up to 5 free stocks, check out the link down below, deposit $100 into Moomoo, and you will have that chance. With that out of the way, guys, let's get on with the video. So AMC was up about 3.23% for the day, looking pretty good. It's once again up in the after hours too. And I know the after hours probably don't matter as much as some people may think, but you guys get my point, right? AMC is doing pretty well right now. So let's talk about this trend that we were on, right? Because we drew this falling wedge, and we're still respecting this falling wedge very, very well. We also saw some falling wedges within falling wedges that were actually a part of this. So this massive falling wedge formed, and you guys know that when we reverse, it's going to be very, very bullish in my opinion. However, right now, we haven't reversed yet. We're still respecting these lines. Now, I think you could draw a line in the center, which I'm going to do a little bit later. But right now, let's just look at the chart, right, and try to dissect it and talk about what we're actually seeing here. So we're trading amongst the moving averages, back and forth, back and forth. And then right now, we saw us kind of start to decline at the very end. This could have been market makers trying to bring it down because of the options chain, right? They want AMC to close at a lower value, and that didn't seem to work out too well. But I also feel like closing at 15 is not going to have too much of a big impact on the stock. Now, when it comes to the action, guys, let's look at some other indicators. Okay, if you look at the VWAP, we were actually above the VWAP for the majority of the day, even when we dropped like this at the very end. Very good sign, guys. AMC wants to run. It's as clear as day. This thing just wants to move, and we're just waiting for it every single day. So if you look at this, we did see the MACD flip at the 9-day moving average just at the very end. Not necessarily sad or scary. Wait, I think I need to switch to 2-hour candles. I'm sorry about that. Yeah, so right there, that's where we saw the flip. This is what I was talking about. But we did see a lot of bullish momentum that was forming from this end, which is a pretty good sign. That's why we're seeing this inverse head and shoulders forming, right? So RSI, 45.26, not too bad. The OBV, however, is starting to pick up, guys. You guys can see it right here. It's starting to pick up. The OBV is basically the price ratio to volume. So that's a good sign. We like it whenever it like picks up like that. That's a good sign going into the future for AMC. And that to me looks pretty bullish for the future because we're very, very oversold and we're still in this falling wedge pattern that's playing out. So I'm going to switch over to TradingView now and just talk about the future because I could actually pinpoint some other very important things. So I've been showing you guys this for the last couple of days. The inverse head and shoulders, okay? Right now, we've been following this very, very well for our reversal to start. And when I talk about that, where would we be right now? We could look at the chart like this. So we saw the first shoulder right here, right over here. We run up to the neckline, we drop, this would be the head, okay, it makes sense. We run up to the neckline again before we see the right shoulder, which means that after that we should start to run up. So we're right here right now, if this were to be true, and we're starting to run up right here. This is an indicator that AMC is getting ready to start an upward trend relatively soon, which is why I am bullish going into next week, regardless of how it actually moves. So some people are indicating, and they are talking about how there's going to be one last shakeout. I want to inform you about that. So the shakeout means that these big institutions, the composite man, they're going to try to shake out as many apes as they can, and that's what they've been doing. And they did find some success, at least to some small degree, but the majority of people are just buying and holding this thing. So these market makers are in very tough positions. So if you guys looked at what happened over the week, we had the SEC making some crazy announcements about transparency. Then the SEC is reporting things about liquidations, and then we have the DOJ investigation going on. And then we had that like building that caught on fire. I mean, crazy, crazy things are happening. And it just seems like there's a big storm that's forming. And this storm is, in my opinion, bringing us closer to a big run for AMC. And that's what I basically see going into the future. So before we run to $100 a share, right? We have to get to 20. We got to get to 21, 22, 25, right? And those are really realistic price levels for AMC to basically reach. So looking at the inverse head and shoulder, you guys can see how this formed. We were in this downward trend from the 30 all the way down for the last many weeks. Since the start of the year, we've been declining, right? Well, I feel like AMC is very oversold. It's also undervalued when it comes to its actual valuation fundamentally. It's very, very, very undervalued. So a big reversal is just a matter of time. So then what's going to happen in the future? Well, it really depends on when we start to break out, because I'm not sure if it's going to start this soon or if it may take a little bit of time. But based off this pattern, it looks like it's about to start. So going into the future, what could end up happening is uh, the last dip. I find that a little bit less likely. And let me try to redraw this now for you guys, because I feel like a lot of people want to know about this. But one thing I could try though is like maybe bring up a Fibonacci real quick, because then the Fibonacci retracement shows us the support and resistance. So let's just say we start from down here, all the way down to that bottom. Where would AMC during its last run take us to? If you were to look at it from this perspective, I know that that's not where the true golden pocket should be. I totally know that, guys, but just bear with me for a sec. It should actually be like around there. True golden pocket. I know the numbers, which is why I'm doing it this way. It's kind of like right here. So somewhere within that range, right? So we know where the golden pocket is supposed to be. How are we probably going to run? So that's what I'm going to end the video with. So if we weren't to run next week, okay, this is probably what's going to happen. AMC might run right back up like that. It'll dip, break out, maybe it's like 18 one last time, get rejected, dip, maybe it's like 1650, then run pretty hard. Maybe it's like 20. Because then we have resistance at 20. We'll dip down to 18 maybe. Maybe start to consolidate a little bit like this before we run as high as 23 maybe, dip very hard, and we continue to go from there. That is a possibility. I'm not guaranteeing it, but I see that as a possibility. And that in turn would complete the inverse head and shoulders, right? Because we see the supports and resistance here. And this may basically set us up for a big run leading up to the earnings report of AMC. We know they have earnings in early like March. So it's looking pretty good, guys. So don't sleep on AMC. This thing has insane potential and nothing has changed. I'm still very, very bullish going into the upcoming weeks, and I have not lost faith, guys. I'm super, super excited. I can't wait for what the future holds. And I also want to wish each and every one of you a fantastic weekend. So that's what I have for this one. I thank you for listening, and I'll see you in the next one. AMC to the moon, and peace out.